Usman, we've talked a lot about digital payments, and the video talked about a woman who's hardly carrying cash anymore. Are there any potential downsides to a cashless economy?
So I don't know about downsides from an individual basis, right? Because I think it's hard to argue that the physical pieces of paper are better than what the digital technology enables you to have from both the kind of core payment itself, but also one of the key things about digitizing the payment is that it then allows all sorts of other financial services to be created around it. So credit, you talk about access to finance. It's very hard to assess somebody's financial capabilities on the small business side if you don't really know what their payments look like. But if you do, then all of a sudden you get a much better ability to do it. But to your question, instead of maybe downsides, I might talk about challenges, because I definitely do think there are challenges. And I think Kati mentioned a few of them. To your point about access to finance, that would be on that list. It's a $4 trillion gap that small businesses face around the world for access to finance. And if we want them to digitize, sometimes it's a constant process of digitization. It's not just like you do it once and then that's it. Providing access to finance, providing government support for digitization, I think are really, really important things that can go a long way. The other thing I'd note, and I want to be as balanced as I can, there are security and privacy challenges in the digital environment that we need to think carefully about. And, I mentioned there are definitely security challenges in the cash environment as well. Platforms like PayPal, they do something called tokenization, which is to kind of mask sensitive financial information and enable people to do payments in a secure and private way. Visa and others do that as well. Kind of leaning into some of those trends and figuring out how to solve some of those issues, I think, is core. And then I'll end with the notion that I think Kati and others on the call have talked about a bit, that and JJ, you stated it so well. It is a holistic set of issues from, I'll add identity to the list, broadband access, you talk about access to finance, digital literacy, financial literacy. There's a whole range of these things. And the other thing I'd put on the table is nobody's going to solve it on their own, not an individual company, not an individual government, it not only has to be all these entities, it has to be all of them working together, solving the unique problems that they're best situated to solve. I think that is the silver bullet. It's not a silver bullet, right? It's a whole range of factors that need to come together on this.